Welcome to SATV's International Special Edition. My name is Rashid Kanchan. I will be your host. And in my studio, there will be very distinguished panelists today. Major retired Imdadul Islam. He is a very famous security analyst. He used to serve for Bangladesh military, one of the finest army in the world. And we have our regular international affairs commentator Shamsul Alam Pantho at studio. We will have our Pakistan correspondent Mohammad Musab today, and we will be definitely connecting with Washington DC, where Mr. Norman Floyd Barnes will be giving the updates from White House, including Pentagon, Congress and Senate. Let us start from our international affairs commentator Shamsul Alam Pantho. You are definitely watching and keeping your eyes on international medias and see so many things is happening. But today's discussion, I would definitely request you, what are the top issues you are going to pick for the audience?
Thank you once again, Rashid Kanchan. Of course, a warm welcome to Major Retired Imdadul Islam and a good afternoon to our viewers. First of all, today is the 30th of June, so tomorrow would be July 1st, and that would signal the first Quad Foreign Ministers meeting in the US. Of course, it would be attended by US, India, Japan and Australia. Of course, this would be to discuss China's influence in the South China Sea. Alongside, protests are still ongoing in Thailand to oust Prime Minister Paetong Tarn. This is definitely regarding a border dispute with Cambodia. And the greatest issue of this show, the Israel attacks are still ongoing and has killed at least 16 in Gaza just by this morning, amidst report of a drug found in the Gaza aid distribution network as well.
So there are many issues, and besides that I also have some news, but I want to start with Major retired Imdadul Islam. He is a very vocal security analyst. He has a long experience in the eastern part of the country, Rangamati, Bandarban and Khaglachuri, when he was serving in Bangladesh military. I want to start from here. The IDF, I mean Israeli Defense Forces, carried out approximately 50 airstrikes in Gaza city alone, resulting in at least 72 deaths, including civilians, 8 seekers and children. According to Al Jazeera, additional strikes killed 23 more people in Gaza, including children, prompting warnings of a major upcoming offensive in northern Gaza. Sir, my question is, President Donald Trump took a phone call to Iranian leader, said stop the war. President Donald Trump took the phone call to Benjamin Netanyahu, Prime Minister of Israel, stop the strikes. It works. President took the same phone call to the Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, don't go for fight, don't quarrel, don't hit each other. It works. But why President's calls to Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu regarding Gaza never works?
Thank you very much. First of all, to having me in your show. But regarding the question or scenario what you have depicted for us, answer is lying there. When Donald Trump called Iranian president or Iranian authority and the Israeli Prime Minister to stop war, and Pakistan and Indian Prime Minister to stop war, it works. But why he is not giving same call to Israeli? There is only one side, that is stop it. What is going on in Gaza is a genocide. So this president himself is financing in the war, helping Israel to kill more Gazan, to carry out more destruction. Because if you remember, few months back, he expressed his desire to have Gaza and Gazan to relocate to Jordan and Egypt, and to Gaza make an you see the tourist destination for the people. He wants to occupy Gaza because he expressed that Gaza is a beautiful place, is a fantastic place to have a tourist spot, because it is nearer to the you see that that see and its location. On the other hand, he is having his new conservative, which we call new conservative, and the deep state. Thereby, very strong Zionist groups are there. Those are influencing and forcing him to carry on atrocities onto the Gaza. And now another question you may ask me, why they are using their air asset besides their land force? Why? Reason is that still Hamas is giving very strong fight against the IDF, Israeli Defense Forces. 3 days back also, they have the 8 casualties, soldiers got killed. So want to avoid that, they are now coming from the bomb they are dropping from the sky so that they cannot be reached by the Hamas. That is there. That's why you have very rightly pointed out that they are bombing onto the Gaza. And more so, the whole world is, you see that the onlookers helpless, like you see that these boys are that day 70, another day 200, today more than 60. They are not fighting. They are on the line to get the food. In one hand, you stop the food supply, medical supply, any source of, you have destroyed their educational institution, you have destroyed their communication, you have destroyed their water supply, you have destroyed their, you see, the communication network, and now you are killing them when they are lined up to have the food, not to fight. Remember, not only to collect the food, not they are fighting.
Sir,
So
I think from Washington DC, Mr. Norman will have answer for the blames or claimings by Major Delaware. He is telling that President Donald Trump or United States is self-sponsor for the Israelis to kill people in Gaza, in West Bank, in Ramallah, in Lebanon, I mean Hezbollah, in Yemen, the Houthis. Norman, have you heard what Mr. Major General Major Imdad is telling about the US-sponsored killing human in Gaza? Norman, do you have the answer for that? Norman from Washington DC.
Good morning from Washington D.C. We wish everybody good health and right now safety. My response, actually, I do not have a response. Genocide is horrible. This situation in Gaza has to stop. The whole stability of the Middle East hinges on stability and the actual situation about developing a state that Palestine and Egypt can coexist. Until that happens, nothing is going to stabilize in the entire region. That is the main hinge pin on what's going on. In the meantime, Israel has brought a situation where the world is not condoning what's going on. The people in the United States, the people in the governments of other countries are condemning what's happening. This useless genocide of people has to stop. The government of the United States is supporting Israel right now, but I can let you know that there's back channel conversations with other countries to put pressure, economic pressure and other pressure on Israel to cease fire to end this situation. The governments of Saudi Arabia has condemned Israel in response to this Palestine situation. This genocide is gathering worldwide condemnation and disapproval. We are here in the States talking, putting pressure on our government about telling and pressuring Israel to cease this atrocity, find out a solution to situation in the Middle East. Right now, the world is watching. The people are not happy. And we must do something. That's my response.
Yeah, Mr. Norman, you have given the impression of the people of the United States about this killing, but your explanation about your president's position is a kind of lobbyist influence on the United States. Let me welcome our Pakistan correspondent Muhammad Musab, who is right now in Bangladesh. He is currently traveling Bangladesh. Right now he is in SATV's studio. Muhammad Musab, very warm welcome to SATV studio, and you are doing excellent from Pakistan for SATV during the India-Pakistan conflict. You have done an excellent job. Now, let me know. President Trump said regarding Iran and Israel, he is not happy with Israel, he is not happy with Iran either. Why he is happy with Israel regarding Gaza?
So President Trump, first of all, thank you for letting me in Dhaka. This is my first time in Dhaka, and I'm really enjoying. It's green, it's crowded, and it's a bustling city. It's a modern city, and I'm really happy to be here representing Pakistan on this forum. It's an honor for me. President Trump is known for his hard foreign policy. He comes on directly, unlike other political leaders. The diplomatic norms that Donald Trump usually looks into is very different from what we've seen in the past from the US presidents or other presidents of the world. Obviously, United States will obviously stand by Israel no matter what happens. There's growing pressure in the United States of America and the European Union. Many Palestinians are going after throughout the world. They're gathering support, and apart from Muslim communities in the world, there's also growing support within legal rights and rights communities. But President Trump pursues the American foreign policy of favoring Israel, and at the same time he's trying to push the Abraham Accord in the Muslim community. Let's see how it goes, but for now there's a ceasefire, and most people in Pakistan, because Pakistan borders Iran, most people in Pakistan feel that this ceasefire will not hold for very long. The same way the India-Pakistan ceasefire will not hold for long. And the only reason to shorten my answer is that both countries, all four countries that have gotten into this ceasefire, realize that long-standing issues are yet to be solved. So unless these issues are solved and there's a permanent solution to these, the conflict will loom and will activate again in the coming days and weeks.
Musab has given two very dangerous clue that ceasefire between India and Pakistan is not going to be long, and
Right.
ceasefire between Israel and Iran is also not going to be long.
Exactly.
And by the side, we have seen the killing of mass people in West Bank, Ramallah, and in Palestine is continuously going on. After 7th October, 56,000 according to World Health Organization, United Nations and Gaza State Department, they said that 56,000 civilians have been killed. My question to Major Imdad, that as per Muhammad Musab, the ceasefire is not going to be prolonged, not going to stay hard, not going to be maintained. That means, are you gauging the fights in different fronts of the world, different regions of the world is any time can start?
Yes, thank you very much. Actually, my friend Musab, what he has given is very correct. Why I am telling you, why this ceasefire will not prolong, will not exist, having reason. One is that the water sharing between Pakistan and India is not resolved. India is still blocking the Sindh water, where 28% of Pakistani people are dependent on the water supply, agriculture, especially the poor people, and they have taken it to the the international dispute, that is arbitrary council. From there, they have given verdict in favor of Pakistan very recently. But India is strict that they will not thus allow Pakistan to get Sindh water, whereas there is a treaty between the two countries. So for this, actually, the ceasefire will remain at stake, at danger always. and comes to the now Iran and Israel, because their primary objective is to destroy the Iranian nuclear facilities.
sites,
So, what enriched uranium is there, especially the Fordo. The Israel has failed to neutralize or to get it out, but that is wiped out for Iran, not to allow Iran to have the nuclear armament. Though Iran time and again they are declaring that we are not intended to have any nuclear facilities or nuclear weapon. But now subsequently they had a myth. Israel and United States had a myth. Myth is that this your Iron Dome, David Slings and Arrow 1-2, it is untargetable, invincible. Both are finished.
Yeah.
There that myth,
Stock is over.
no, not over, but it is targeted, it is hit, and Israel was hit. Because so for so long, Western people have seen that Gaza is destroyed, and time and again they are going to. But this time they have seen that Tel Aviv also is damaged, Haifa is damaged, Haifa's port is damaged, what they are recycling is damaged, telecommunication network damaged, their refinery is damaged.
Port is damaged.
Port is damaged. So, when it is seen by the United States, their main patron, the President Trump have left Canada, G7, one day before, and he comes with a plea that he is going to have a ceasefire. No, he ordered his main armament, that is B-52, to carry the bomb, to drop onto the Fordo and Natanz and the Isfahan. So it flew from Arizona 18 hours and engaging 125 fighter aircraft to guard them. And from the Mediterranean, they launched 75 Tomahawk guided missile onto the various suspicious target, so that their air defense will be neutralized, so that they cannot aim the B-52. And 3 times they are refueled, 30,000 pound per aircraft carried, 7 aircraft, that is 14 bomb they carried, this B-52.
It was huge.
Huge, but its capacity, per capacity is 70,000 pound. But 30,000 two bombs, 60,000 they carried and they dropped. But subsequently, it's proved that their objectives again, it is not, they have not achieved. Why not achieved? Yesterday, International Atomic Energy Agency's head, he said that Iran is again going to enriching the your fuel.
IAEA says that.
Yes, says. Simultaneously, Iranian Atomic Energy Commission, they said that there is no radiation. And NPT also declared that no radiation. More so, American Intelligence Authority, the whole group, including the CIA, FBI, the National Intelligence Agency headed by Tulsi Gabbard, they said that it is not heated. Only months you have put them back. Only months.
Sir, as you said that Iran, IAEA says that Iran is again enriching its.
Absolutely.
There is a relevant news I have. Iran announced clearly it's ending its cooperation with the International Atomic Energy Agency, highlighting global concerns over its nuclear activities.
Not that. They have adopted 2 resolutions in their parliament. One is that they are coming out from the NPT, though they said that it is, we are just giving the message to them. Another one, they will not cooperate with, which you have said, IAEA inspection, for the inspection, because when they were dropped, international agency, the UN, miserably have failed to stop the attack, because there was every possibility of radiation.
Sir, let us give the answer from Mr. Norman from Washington DC. Mr. Norman, I think you are listening very carefully what an military analyst is talking about, and Iran already announced that they are not going to cooperate with IAEA anymore. That means in documentation or in the dialogue table, relationships are going far. What would be US position in that perspective, Mr. Norman from Washington DC?
Yes, sir. Again, the situation is very interesting situation going on. At one point, our government is stating that the mission was successful in bombing. Yes, they bombed something, but what? The question is what happened. I can share with you my background in dealing with these type of situations is that if you drop a bomb, and in this situation, this type of situation, a very destructive bomb, there has to be a time where we can go and measure the effects of it. We have not met that threshold. A lot of accusations, comments about this and that. The bomb provided severe damages, but it did not disable the program. If you drop a bomb, particularly on radiation, the radiation has to go somewhere. There's no evidence of that yet.
Exactly.
We have not found any traces of radiation. So common sense, if you drop something and it explodes, it has to go somewhere. It has to emanate. There's no evidence of that. We have satellites, we have ground sources now going on. We can't find the radiation. So that will lead one to believe that their uranium, the enriched uranium, was not there. It's somewhere else.
Yes.
The program, the Iranian program is mentioning that they are going to reshape themselves, rebuild, actually continue the program. We're looking at in the next couple of months that they will go back in production again of this enriched uranium to whatever they want to do, or how they want to use it. So we have to really look at what's going on. People, one party is saying, yes, it was successful. Other party said, no, it wasn't. But the program itself is still going on. So we have to really look at what's going on here. There's a lot of propaganda, a lot of bravado. Yes, we did this. No, we did that. But we do not have any evidence yet. There has not been any evidence of uranium afterflow. There's nothing to show that that the program is still continuing. There's actually been a very minimal response from Iran regarding this attack, which tells me that we are still moving on.
Mr. Norman, you have given so many clues about the situation currently. I know you have a very long background on peace negotiation, working with the State Department. You have been yourself as an ambassador of United States of America. So your experience and your words, your information matters. I want to get a short comment from our international affairs commentator. You are not only watching the international medias, you are also reading the articles of war experts, security analysts, militaries, different perspectives. You have heard what Norman has said, that there is no clue of radiation of uranium. That means United States failed to fire on the right place. What would be your comment? It is the beginning of war or it is the ending of the war?
Thank you, Mr. Kanchan. If you look at the months of May and June, today is 30th June, that would signal the 60th day from May and June. In this case, the story of narratives is now prevalent. Before, we've seen in the 12-day war, both of the countries have exchanged ballistic missile fire. But now the story is more of a war of narratives. Similarly, also between the India-Pakistan war as well. Of course, if there was to be a nuclear fallout or a radiation leak inside Iran or in southern Iran as well, it would of course have a layover effect in Qatar and surrounding Arabian states. One of the things Major Imdadul Islam pointed out was the Indus Water Treaty, and since we have Mr. Musab from Pakistan in our studio, I felt that I should ask this question. Shehbaz Sharif, the Prime Minister of Pakistan, had gone on a 4-nation tour immediately after the India and Pakistan ceasefire was talked about, and it visited Turkey, Iran, Azerbaijan and Tajikistan. One of these 4 countries have already embroiled in a war in the very next month. Yes. The Western world sees the Islamic nations coalition in such an effect. I just want to get your comment as well on
Please,
this
Mr.
matter.
Musab.
So, one more thing that is very important in response to your question, I'll answer your question in the later half of my answer. But
Sure.
there's a Quad Foreign Ministers conference that is going to be held tomorrow on July
yes.
the 1st in the US. And that has Japan, that has Australia, that has the United States, and that has India in it. And I'm sure the center of this Foreign Ministers conference, because this is the second in 6 months, the first happened in January, and then there's a later planned in September or October sometime this year, which is going to be held in India. So if I look at it from this perspective, I think everybody in the region is going to get involved sooner rather than later. It was Pakistan's turn first, and now it's Iran's turn, which is still not over. I keep saying that because I think I know the region from within. And India has been constantly not on good terms with Bangladesh in the past few weeks and for past few months as well. Having said that, I think the idea behind all of this is to contain China, and I would like to keep it there. I would not like to say or think that Iran and Pakistan will become boiling points. I think the idea is to contain China through the maritime affairs, through air defense systems, checking. Probably a lot of people in Pakistan, by the way, and Major Saab would agree with me, think, a lot of defense and security analysts think that both wars that happened in the past few months were basically technology testing wars, where the Chinese equipment was thoroughly tested. I'm not sure on the facts on this, but between India and Pakistan, there was definitely a technology test. The air defense systems were thoroughly checked. Now India is going to go for the F-35s and Pakistan is going to go for the J-35s. So in the coming few months, I expect more to happen. India is going to definitely be lobbying anti-terror, cross-border terrorism. Pakistan is doing the same. The answer to your question is Pakistan understands where India and is going to position itself in the United States and where India is going to position itself in the European Union. That is why the trip to these four most important countries was needed. Pakistan understands, Pakistan is ready for any regional boil out that is going to happen in the coming few months, and that is why we're going for diplomacy. As you've rightly pointed out, it's a war of diplomacy now.
Pakistan, as per Musa, Pakistan is ready. Pakistan understood what is going to be happen in coming months, and Pakistan is ready. Very powerful words, very powerful gaze, very powerful observation. As you are a military professional, I want to definitely come to you. Pakistan has faced 4 days war with India. Bangladesh is facing 11 months media domination to Bangladesh. India has criticized Bangladesh's government. India has pushed people in the border. India has given a lot of media propaganda, very dirty way and very nakedly. What would be your position as a military professional? Because we know once someone serves in the military, it is called active professional, active personnel. If he or she retires, it is called reserve force. What would be your position? Because we know Bangladesh Army is recognized one of the finest army in the world.
Yeah, I'm coming to his point. Actually, the technological test between Pakistan and India. So this time, this very short time war, Pakistan has proven adequately, very effectively, they have gone ahead of Indian technology in this warfare. I'm telling you one thing, why? India is having the Rafale and is a very proud armament, the RSA for the any country is possessing. So
Rafale is from France.
From France. Yeah. And then Pakistan is having the C-10, remember?
From China.
From China. And Pakistan is having another thing which Indian strategists, they have miserably failed to take into the calculation and their war game or war scenario. What is that AI? Strategic and that is intelligence, AI, strategic center they have established. When Indian aircraft, especially the Rafale and other Mirage, when they were lined up, this strategic AI center was giving every second data and the position, the location of Indian air assembling area before they launch attack onto the Pakistani side. What happened then? This that is C-10, then when they were ready, they got the signal within a minute. That because through the artificial intelligence strategic center.
Exactly.
It was such a master thing for Pakistan when they got all the signals and they flew. Another thing, Indian, it is I have seen from the Pakistan's Deputy Air Chief Operation. He has given an electronic presentation one I saw there, and almost all the representative of the international press representative was there. He said that when our aircraft flew, it is called contested air zone. Contested air zone between when before the dogfight start is a contested air zone. So Indian calculation it was there that 200 kilometer the Rafale can after 200 kilometer Rafale can engage Pakistani aircraft. But they have miserably failed. C-10 is having the power of 300 kilometer. So Rafale when comes, they thought that Pakistani aircraft will come to the 200 kilometers radius, that is the contested air zone. But they have failed to calculate that Pakistan have extended it 300
May I ask you a very direct question?
One very exciting. When 300 kilometers, the Rafale when it comes to even 200 kilometers, but he is having, the Pakistani pilot is having capacity to shot 300 kilometers. He opened, he launched his missile from C-10 and they shot down Rafale. And now you ask me, how you so sure that Rafale is shot down? Because next day, Rafale, Gulshan, they have produced Rafale, this market share, it's a listed company.
Got down, hugely got down in Europe.
And the
C-tank.
Yeah, no, Chinese,
yeah.
their 25% jumped in the same day.
Yeah.
And those have already ordered for, catered for Rafale, they started revisiting, rethinking that if it is not addressed to cope up. Yesterday I have seen in one of the international paper, the C-10 already China is delivering to Iran now. So C-10 is having that capacity to engage the Rafale.
War is going on between
Yes.
India and Pakistan, but
So
business is
that's why I'm
going
telling
on
the
in China and Europe. Sir, may I ask you a very tricky questions? You will have to answer in a one line. Do you think in 4 days war Pakistan own or Pakistan lose? India own or India lose? Very direct answer, sir.
Question is critical and time is limited. What a this presenter, you see that how his guest is gone down. It is because Indian strength, the amount of force they have, Pakistan have neutralized this time. That here, thereby Pakistan is, because Indian force, total force, strength of manpower is almost double. But one of the, probably you have heard the name, Pravin Swani. He is a very old, 40 years he is only defense analyst, he is working. He said that this time Pakistan made it neutralize. Indian, he said.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Discussion is really hot today. Discussion is really based on facts and figures today. We'll be analyzing more. Let me go for a short break, but we will come very soon.
গুলি ছোড়ার মধ্যে ডাইরেক্ট অর্ডারে যদি কেউ দোষী সাব্যস্ত হন সেই ব্যক্তি হতে পারে তারেক সিদ্দিকী।
আমরা তো সবাই তাকিয়ে আছি শেখ হাসিনার দিকেই।
নো, এই যে রং কনসেপ্ট, যে কারণে আপনারা এখনো পর্যন্ত বারবার মুখ থুবড়ে পড়তেছেন। তারেক সিদ্দিকী সে হচ্ছে যতগুলো মার্ডার হয়েছে, যতগুলো গুম হয়েছে, যতগুলো অন্যায় হয়েছে, যেটা দিয়ে পুরো জাতিকে ভয় দেখানো গেছে, সেই ভয়ঙ্কর লোকটাকে আপনারা এখনো পর্যন্ত বিচারের কাঠগড়ায় আনতে পারেন নাই। যতক্ষণ পর্যন্ত আনতে পারবেন না, আপনি স্বাধীন না।
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. When you discuss about war, disaster and conflict, you have to consider and think about the value of human lives. We are discussing war. We have Shamsul Alam Pantho as international commentator here. We have Major retired Imdadul Islam. He is a security analyst served in Bangladesh Army. We have our Pakistan correspondent Muhammad Musab, who has recent experience regarding the India-Pakistan war, has given us so many things on the table to discuss. We have Norman Flatt Barnes from Washington, who is continuously covering United States events and also Iran-Israel events, Gaza events. He's giving us so much of thoughtful information to us. First, I want to ask a question to Shamsul Alam Pantho, and your time would be very short because Norman will answer. What's going on inside United States? Because we see in the television that protests are going on. You know, people are very angry to the Trump administration. The Senate is busy, Congress is busy. What is your observation? Then I'll put it into the Norman's table.
Thank you once again, Mr. Kanchan. Actually, according to a news report by the Al Jazeera, US Senate begins debate on Trump's big, beautiful bill. Of course, the bill would cut health cover for 11.8 million American people and increase deficit by 3.3 trillion. This is definitely a sign that a much more internal issue may take place in the Americas. Please, if you can ask Norman how he feels about it as well.
Mr. Norman, you are hearing that Shamsul Alam Pantho is telling that Senate is busy with debating about the health cards. My question would be to you a little bit bigger, because before Trump 2.0 campaign, he says that he will create more jobs, he will control the domestic violence, he will take care of the health, he will stop all the wars. Now what he is doing and what the people of America is reflecting, Mr. Norman?
Yes, again, good morning. Our Congress, particularly the Senate and more importantly the Republican Party of the Senate, is in hot debate right now. Actually, as we speak all weekend, they've been working on this big bill. This bill has the Congress is pressured by the President Trump to have a solution by July the 4th, which is coming up real quick. So there's a lot of pressure on getting this done, but there also a lot of internal fighting. There's a lot of conflict between, obviously the Democratic Party is in total opposition. The Republican Party is split. To the point where one of the congressmen has forced from North Carolina has put in his resignation. He's not going to run for office because of the implication of this bill that it will cut Medicaid and also health care for at least 11.8 million people who are currently in need of insurance. That means jobs going to be cut. That means people are going to be looking for answers. The supplemental money used to supply these programs is also been diverted. There's a very uncertainty and a lot of it's a very volatile situation right now, because the elected officials are conflicted because they want to support the president, the Republican Party, but the people they represent do not and will not.
Mr. Norman, you are always very updated. I am very impressed. You are always very updated with the world affairs and domestic American affairs, and you give us with so much cordial, contribution to SATV management and from the board of directors. I want to give you a huge thanks, Mr. Norman. I'll see you tomorrow again. Tomorrow we will discuss more things. Thank you very much for joining. I know it's 4 a.m. in the morning in Washington time. And thank you very much for your dedication. I appreciate it, sir.
Stay blessed.
I want to go to Muhammad Musab. Musab, Bangladesh people have a lot of interest about Pakistan. Pakistani politics, Pakistani economics, Pakistani conflicts with, with Afghanistan, with Iran, with India. Would you give us some of Pakistan government's position? Because Most of the people know Pakistan is actually run by the military. Who is financing military? Why Pakistan military is ignoring the people's interest and people's desire? Would you please give us a thought, because Bangladesh people have a lot of interest on Pakistan.
Very critical question.
Yeah, he's put me in the hot seat. I have to go back to Pakistan as well. What is happening in Pakistan is Pakistan has a lot of neighbors, a lot of noisy neighbors, a lot of neighbors that have been in conflict for different reasons. When it comes to the eastern side, since the partition, Pakistan has never had a good spell on foreign policy, on diplomatic relations, on bilateral relations, on economic trade. There's never been a time where things have been constantly good. So every time there's been an effort, something or the other has happened which has derailed the whole process. When it comes to the northern side, China has always been an all-weather friend. But with China, Pakistan has always been in two states of mind. Pakistan has always been pressurized by the United States of America to distance itself from China, but China has definitely been an all-weather friend. On the western side, Pakistan is bordered by two different countries. Afghanistan has been in war since '78. There's been during the Taliban regime there was some break when things seemed to be smooth, and now things again are being neutralized. Pakistan and China are sitting on a table where they're negotiating different things. Obviously, it's been 40 years of Afghanistan facing a war. There's there's layers after layers of problems that need to be resolved, and it will take time. With Iran, again, Iran was very close to India. They were, as you know better than me, they were building trade relations, economic relations. The Chabahar port was something that Pakistan was not really happy about. But in the recent past, we've seen both countries come together. So, because of its geopolitical situation and its position, answering your question, the army has, yes, I agree, and there's no denying the fact that army has a role which is beyond the constitutional limits, and it is something that I wouldn't justify or defend it, but it's a reality, it's a sad reality, and somehow or the other, all political parties have played their part in giving this space to the army. Now that it's been given, taking it back is not that easy, and it shouldn't be. Is my justification for it. However lousy you might say this is, but the fact is that Pakistan is in a situation where all three sides are almost always boiled up, hence the army's exaggerated role in politics.
What Musab says, Pakistan in a situation where all the sides are noisy neighbors and problems with, and all political parties took advantage from Pakistan military, and Pakistan military uses all political parties. I am not going into that. My question is, see, India is a big country in South Asia. India has neighboring country Nepal, Bhutan, Maldives, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Pakistan. India has not good relation with any of the neighbor. My question is, can India change its neighbor, or India should restart rebuilding, rethinking, revising relationship with its neighbor if South Asia wants to be a peaceful region in the world?
You see that with a proverb I am to start. You can choose your friend, but you cannot choose your neighbor. What my friend says that is Pakistan, though you have said that you will not drag me to the Pakistani scenario or situation, but what he has given, that's having a very depth, you have said the eye-opening, the lead he has given. Because I am coming to your point, Afghanistan is called is the graveyard of the empire. So it is not the fault of Pakistan, but throughout the ages, Afghanistan is used by the British, by the Soviet, by the American, time and again. So it is so volatile with their perspective of objectives. Once the British Empire, they want to stop the Soviet invasion towards the India, because India was their colony that time. So that was their objectives. And you see then subsequently Soviet Union comes over there to stop American, you see that influence. And subsequently Soviet Union, the Taliban was created. And then Pakistan is to also bear all this burden. And then the hundreds and thousands of millions of, you see that people are just taken shelter in Pakistan. So that way Pakistan is handling their situation. But comes to the why all the neighboring country, India cannot maintain a congenial relationship. You see that I'm very with this saving the dignity, honor and dignity of the diplomacy. There is a word Kautilya principle. You understand? The basic principle of the Kautilya principle, basic theme of the Kautilya principle, don't allow your neighbor to remain stable and flourish. If in these modern ages, if some policymakers wants to follow that, then it will happen. If you do not like to see your neighbor flourishing and stable, then this sorts of scenario will come up.
Sir, we are running out of time. I must do a question to two gentlemen. Actually, I will do the question to three of you. First, I want to go to Shamsul Alam Pantosi. We see a very gentleman. Yeah, we see a very gentleman like Dr. Jaishankar. He is the Foreign Affairs Secretary of India. But during his tenure, I mean during Modi's tenure, all neighboring countries has gone far from India. Are India trying to isolate others, or are India trying to isolate itself?
Well, I mean, India out policy has been running even in Maldives. There has been historical war between southern India and Sri Lanka over the decades as well.
Yes.
Of course, history of war between Bangladesh and Pakistan has been always been there.
Yes.
And you mentioned Mr. Jaishankar. He would be better as a Prime Minister than Narendra Modi, in my opinion. Because given the background, background of the two gentlemen.
Our international correspondent says Dr. Jaishankar, very humble person, very learned person, would be better Prime Minister for India. Indian people will definitely think it. I want to take the last comment from Mr. Mohammad Musab, our Pakistan correspondent, now in Dhaka and the SATV studio. What India desires from its neighboring country, because there is a SARC. SARC could be reactivated. Yes. The relationship could be better. What would be your comment? India is not even putting SARC into the table.
Yes. So this is what I actually was when I was driving here to the SATV studios. This is exactly what was playing in my head. India would never want SARC to strengthen. And this is now on Pakistan and Bangladesh. In the recent past, we've seen both countries warming towards each other. And this is the actual step that needs to be taken. We need to together somehow strengthen SARC, and that will be a huge blow for India. Apart from that, Pakistan and Bangladesh have too many common grounds. We have the same religion, our languages are almost the same, we have a history of trade. So I think trade relations, economic relations and security relations between Pakistan and Bangladesh need to be strengthened, and that is the only answer to India's aggression, because India has throughout been thinking ahead of its time. They've been planning 10 years ahead, and that is why they're constantly trying and testing their neighbors, checking whether they're up to date or not. In the coming days, Pakistan and Bangladesh need to do the same. They need to replicate this model. They need to make sure that India is not a threat for anybody's existence, and the noise that they create in the international arena, that needs to be neutralized, and the only way that can be done is through economic cooperation. Forums like SARC are exactly made for this purpose. They're tailor-made for this purpose. So activating this will definitely dent India's...
Fair enough, Mohammad Musab. The last comment from Major, my question would be, you see, India is dominating Bangladesh, India is dominating all its countries, neighboring countries. What would be Bangladesh's role? Because the new generation of Bangladesh and the new government of Bangladesh made it clear that we need a respectful, bilateral and win-win relationship. Otherwise, we will rethink, revise, redesign and restart our policy for India. Very tough words.
Actually, I want to just fall back to his comment that's about Jaishankar. Jaishankar was the Foreign Secretary in the year 2017 when the millions of Rohingya influx took place in our country. So, Mr. Narendra Modi flew to Nepal on 12th September 25th August, the influx started. And 12th September, he flew to Naypyidaw, standing beside Aung San Suu Kyi. He passed remarks that I came over here to just declare our support or extend our support to you as you were attacked by the militant. So, that time, Jaishankar was the foreign secretary. But not a single word was pronounced. That day their foreign policy was tested. That Bangladesh has given shelter over 1 million people. Those were helplessly driven out through arsenic, through demolishing their house, killing, raping, and they were on fire. They were driven to Bangladesh. Bangladesh has given them shelter. He has not uttered a word to give any credit to Bangladesh. The Bangladesh has shelter over 1 million people. That day it was tested, and he was the foreign secretary. He formulated the policy. That day Bangladesh was unawarely caught. It is called Bangladesh foreign policy was unawarely caught that day.
Thank you, sir.
Right?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Major retired Imdadul Islam says very tough words. Shamsul Alam Pantho and Muhammad Musab and also Mr. Norman. Thank you everyone for joining, and thank you everyone for your input to the show. I'm sure audience would love to listen and watch today's show. Before I end, I just want to say Bangladesh is a sovereign nation. Bangladesh will never compromise its integrity, security and the development. So, if any country, any neighboring country wants to have Bangladesh beside, they will have to have the respectful foreign policy for Bangladesh. I'll see you tomorrow. Before I conclude, I want to say happy birthday to Mike Tyson, very legendary former world heavyweight boxing champion, and happy birthday to Michael Phelps, most decorated Olympic swimming in the history of the Olympic. I'll see you tomorrow.